Hey guys, this video will help you complete the the pitch 1.2 page. We're going to talk today about intervals. Those are the spaces between any two pitches. Because of that, you need to know that intervals are things we can read. We can read them in the music. We can write them down in the music. We can play them or sing them. And we can also hear them and identify them. We're going to be doing all of this work today orally. Aural, aural means something that you can tell with your ears. You might be more familiar with orally, O-R-A-L, anything that happens to be sensed with your mouth. Like when you eat something and taste something, that's an oral skill. Speaking is an oral skill. However, interval identification is partially an aural skill. We are going to work with only part of what we call the diatonic intervals. So when we have a scale, that's a specific ordering of all the pitches, and they have a relationship with each other. The one we've been working on is the major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Now, we're not going to learn all of the diatonic intervals, just the most important ones. You can see I've listed them off here to the right. Do to re, do to mi, do to fa, do to so, and do to high do. So what you need to know, and I've put them in pink along the sides, is that we're going to learn them how they relate to each other in a scale, but you can hear these intervals and we have specific names for them. So in music, when we count differently than you may think. When I'm counting from do to re, that's a second because there are two pitches there. All right. And the big letter M means major. Major second. Do to mi is a major third. And then we have intervals that aren't major, but are called perfect. Like do to fa, do to so, and do to high do. Those are perfect intervals. Now, we could take a long time explaining why something's called major or minor and why something's called perfect, but it has to do with math. So just trust me when I tell you that it makes sense. And when you're taking a look at the ratio of the frequencies of both pitches, if it's more of like a whole number, like a 2-to-1 relationship, it's a perfect interval. The more it becomes something that's like a rational number, like 2.111111 or 3333333, then it becomes something that's not perfect. All right. So we have talked a little bit about these in class. Now we are going to listen and learn some songs. Some of them you might know, some of them you might not. So we talked in class about do to re, a major second. When we go from the lower pitch, do, up to the higher pitch, re, we call that doing an ascending interval. It's ascending because it's going up in pitch. If I were to go re, do, that's descending and means going lower. So do to re, ascending sounds like happy birthday to you. And hopefully you know that song. When you're descending, a major second, re, do, sounds like the first two pitches in The First Noel, which is a Christmas song. And then a major third, do to mi, sounds like a couple of different songs. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh, when the saints go marching in, or from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So those ascending intervals, kumbaya, or when the saints go marching in, or the Mariners hymn, those are all really good ascending songs that start with an ascending major third. When we get to the perfect intervals, do to fa, sounds like here comes the bride, ba 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 da, or oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. Now when we get to do to so, this is a really important, it's a very strong interval. Do, so sounds like twinkle, twinkle, little star, or Star Wars, ba-da-da-dee-da, ba-da-da-dee-da, ba-da-da-da. Sounds like a perfect fifth. Now, when you look at the last interval we're going to work on, that's do to high do. You'll notice that it's a high do because it looks like it has an apostrophe for that second D. That's how you can tell anything that's not in the original scale from do all the way up through to where it repeats has to have anything that is outside of that scale has to have some marking so we can tell where it is. So if it has something that looks like an apostrophe, it's higher than the regular do in the first scale. And if it has what looks like a comma after it or a subscript 1, it's lower than. Do to high do sounds like the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Now these songs, which may or may not be familiar to you, are the ones that lots of musicians use. And now your job is to practice. Can you hear these two pitches and then say which interval it is? Now, sometimes this takes a little bit of time because aural skills are something that you have to develop, like the skill for tying your shoes. It doesn't happen automatically. So the rest of the page will have I believe it's a sound. There's a sound. There's a little sound icon there, and if you click it, you'll hear audio, and it will play some of these pitches, and you can see if you can identify them. We will also do this in class. More often than not with warm-ups so that you can start to hear them. Where this really works, especially for singers, is if you're in the middle of a piece and for whatever reason, no matter what happens, you can't remember what the pitch after a certain pitch that you can sing is. A lot of times knowing what its interval is will help you to be able to sing. It's a much better way of going. So good luck, practice, practice, and I will see you in the next video.